do that.
I call on Tim. He has his hand up.
Well, thank you. Since you said in conclusion, I will do a little more conclusion if I may. I can imagine a lot of you were disappointed in this meeting, and I was too. I wanted to hear a lot more about what the city was actively doing now, but even more importantly, what they expected us to do. I want to know how we should be involved. They have resources to look this stuff up. So do we. You know, the web is accessible to all of us. There's lots of things we can do long before we have to hire police, long before we have to get drastic about what's going on. It was suggested on the BNA a couple times, we bring in the guardian angels. I'm embarrassed to say that someone suggested that before we had our own people walking our streets. I think everyone in the room knows that crime doesn't happen when there are people around watching. It makes a huge difference if you'll get out and walk. Twice a day, get on your block, find out who on your block is home during the day. Ask to schedule something with them, see if they can go on a regular basis. See if you can, people who work nights, people who have, God forbid, under 1-year-olds like I do, maybe up at 2 and 4 on a regular basis. Make sure they're looking out. I mean, this is a really simple thing, but it means calling in, it means getting people on board. It means getting to know your neighbors better, it means getting more involved. And every single person in the room here has some responsibility to that. To hear from the city, what are you going to do, is inappropriate, but it does mean the same thing. It's coming out a different way, which is every single one of us has to do something. Paying for more police is extremely expensive and does a very poor job of deterring crime, unless the cop happens to drive by at the right time. And if he drives by at the wrong time, well, you know where he went, don't you? I grew up in a town with one policeman. If he went that way, you could do anything you wanted that way. And that's true right here. We have one cop a night in each district or so. We have people coming and going. You can put 5 cops in my district. They're still not going to prevent all that crime. It's going to take individuals. Start doing research. If there's someone who's active in the community, who understands how to use the web well, start doing research on how you can get out there, how to start a crime watch on your own block, how to start it in your surrounding 3 blocks. Join your neighborhood association. It's extremely important to get involved and get on their list to find out what's going on. We hear about a lot of crimes from the only 250 people. There are 1,200 homes in the Broadmoor. What's happening with the other 1,100 or 1,000? 950. I want to make it very clear, Tony didn't create this crime. This crime's been going on longer than he's been mayor. He has little ability to affect it, in my opinion. Adding 6 more policemen, according to the stats the FBI has, trust them or not, does not make a significant difference in how much crime we have. It has a huge amount to do with how many people are out, how many people are involved in their community and know what's going on. Really significant stuff. So I don't mean to take any heat off Tony. He's going to get plenty after this, I'm sure. But he's not the guy who did it, right? He's not the guy who created it. He can't solve it himself. It's going to have to be significantly us doing it. And if we spend 9 policemen, $2 million easily, I'd say, on police, it's not necessarily going to make a difference to your feeling of safety.
Thank you very much. I mean, I think I believe Tim's comments are apropos, and that is, I think that's a good way to close based on what he said. We can't do it by ourselves. You can't do it by yourself. But together, I think we can handle and manage the situation.
Is there any listing someplace where we can get all the homeowners association and phone numbers and stuff?
We have it at City Hall.
So more importantly, get people involved because, and no offense to homeowner associations that are here, some of them are very active, some of them have fallen on the wayside, some of them are just not existent. Even at the end of the years when Larry Norrie and Al were running the associations, it was just kind of a snoozer meeting.
That's a great point because a lot of people complain, and I can tell you, I go to the homeowners association even though I work as far as everybody else out of town, and we mostly get board members and 1 or 2 other people that show up on a regular basis. I mean, without the community, we can't do it. The 5 people who've been doing it for the last 3 years.
That's why what Tim said is correct. You need to, in all honesty, you do need to go and knock on doors and get your neighbors involved. I mean, it's pure and simple. Again, you can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. But together, I think it can get done. And I'm happy. Thank you, presidents, for being here tonight. And again, contact me. Contact me whenever you want to. I am available. Thank you very much.
Connie Stevens has a group called Citizens for Safe San Leandro. I don't have any contact information for her, but Connie Stevens' wife, Bill Stevens, has started a group. Folks, there's Connie right in the middle. I don't have your email address. Talk to her if you're interested. She's trying to gather people around and find out what it is we need to do, how to approach it, gather information, gather